Hey, spiritual superstars. So, how have you been? I hope you're doing okay. I hope you're doing beautiful. This was just on my soul, and I shared a little bit in our private Facebook group. But first of all, let me tell you, I love you. Sometimes when that spiritual attack is not letting up, you have to bring the heat. But how do you do that? You have to let your human do their job. Sometimes in spiritual awakening, we have this idea, which is false, of you have to be in your higher self and you have to seek your higher self at all times to deal with everything. That's not true. That is not true. And it gets a lot of people in trouble, and it gets you in a vicious cycle of being stuck, unhappy, and wondering why you keep getting beat up. So, Mama Nicole, Auntie, your sister, okay? Some of y'all spiritual daughter, I'm going to tell you, sometimes you got to let your human just come with all guns blazing. You got to let your human sometimes go completely off. And then calm your human down. See, the thing is, you're the soul within your human, okay? Not every attack is going to come up in a straight up spiritual way. Sometimes it's going to be a physical attack. Does that mean that you have to throw hands, that you have to curse somebody out? No. But it does mean that you are not to criticize your human if that's the way she or he has handled things. Sometimes you have to let your human handle the job. It's not always going to be, okay, I can just pray this away, when God has already given you the words to speak, the courage to say those words, and whatever characteristics you have built from other attacks, from other challenges. Because what happens is, it's very easy to avoid and escape that situation and end up in a constant cycle. And you don't want that. So sometimes you must let your human do their job. Remember, you're the soul within your human. So when you don't allow your human to respond and react in a way that comes natural, guess what happens? Your human quits. Your human reverts, goes backwards. Your human repels and rejects every spiritual thing you're doing. Everything that you try to do. Meditation doesn't work anymore. The different spiritual techniques you use for attack doesn't work. Sage, you may as well not even be using it. Your human is going to reject everything when you reject your human. Okay? So you have to, your human's job is to try to sustain whatever it is that gives your human courage. And sometimes it's a false sense of courage. So it's really, fear is an embedded part of who we are as part human. Studies have already proven that, you know that. So your job is to help your human through it. You coach your human through it, okay? And so when you don't know how to do that, that's what you got me for. And we use proven techniques. This is what coaches need to be able to do, okay? So let me give a tip to coaches. Let's say that your client, or you as the client, are working towards your goal. And then all of a sudden, things become more ambivalent, or you become more ambivalent, or you become more resistant. And you can't quite put your finger on it, but you start going backwards and you start repelling all of the goodness that's coming to you, and you start realizing, well, wait a minute. It seems like I take 5 good steps forward and everything is going good. The world is awesome. My universe is smiling back at me. And all of a sudden, something happens that you can't quite put your finger on, but you've got to take 1,000 steps back. And you've been like catapulted backwards. And it becomes a cycle. And then you feel like you're working so hard, putting in so much effort just to take one more step forward. And I'm telling you, dear loves, I promise you, it is simply a matter of you befriending your human and letting your human know that you're listening, that you've got your human's back, and out of anybody, you do. That your human can trust you more than anybody. Okay? And so sometimes you've got to let your human react, right? Comment down below in what ways you think you need to let your human react that feel like it's opposing your new spiritual trajectory, your new spiritual path. Because you've got this beautiful new life, right? You've got this beautiful new way of responding and reacting and receiving, right? Even giving of yourself. But you have to balance it. And sometimes you might think, or you might even be taught, that you've got to meditate 5 times a day. And you've got to sage every single day and night. You can't even get up without doing something spiritual. That's a lie. That's a lie. You will get so comfortable with a spiritual practice that it'll be a part of you. And so you won't be forcing it. It won't feel out of place. It won't feel daunting. It won't feel overwhelming to your human. Because if it is overwhelming to your human, for example, if you're sitting in a lotus pose and your human is just like, what the heck? Like, I can't even bend over good. And they got me sitting in a doggone pose that we're not built for that. And you keep ignoring that. We're not built for this. This is uncomfortable. I do not like my butt hurts. Both butt cheeks on straight fire. And you still sitting like that. You going to hot yoga, about to pass all the way out, trying to act like this is something that you about that life, and you're not. Maybe not yet. So, baby step. Okay, baby step. But don't be stressing your human out, baby, because you got one. And she or he has your back. They've got your back. So you've got to have their back. More than anybody, okay? So yes, when you need to cuss somebody out, cuss them straight up out. Stop yourself from apologizing for it. And let your human have their way. And then have the conversation with your human. And let your human know, okay, so now I'll let you have that because I know, did it make you feel better? Yeah, made me feel a whole lot better. All right, okay. But you know what we're going to be doing going forward? We're not going to be cussing out people. We're just going to start expressing ourselves because Miss Nicole, Mama Nicole, is teaching us my I feel statements. And so we're going to use those because we need to convey our message clearly. We need to get our point across because we got goals, we got stuff to lose, and we need to be heard. Your human needs to be heard, okay? So if you're not listening to your human, how can you teach someone else to, right? So coaches, you must help your client move and maneuver, navigate through this awakening that they're experiencing. You've got to be able to recognize the signs. but you have to move them. So you've got to pull them forward. You've got to ask the right questions. And here's a big tip. If you're talking more in that coaching session than your client, then you're not helping them at all. And you're doing what we call wearing the expert hat. And we don't do that because our client sessions are their session. Always client-centered. Always, always. It's about our client at all times. All times. I don't care what agenda you have. Throw it out the window. It is about your client. And so, that being said, when your client is foregoing their human, you've got to be able to step in and you've got to pose questions in a way that makes them think and it makes them respond to you willingly, honestly, and it lets them, by the end of your session, know that they did that. They pulled themselves out of that stuck quicksand that they weren't able to do without your help. Okay, that's because you're going to be the expert coach and you're going to make your clients happy and they're going to refer others to you because you're going to show up in your integrity. Okay, and you're not going to be telling them to just pick some cards every day and meditate at 3 o'clock and sage in the morning and at night and drink this concoction. You're not going to be just relying on woo-woo, and you're not going to be relying on things that are out of your integrity. You're not going to do that. I'm not saying that those things don't work. What I'm saying is you're going to be able to help your client through their journey, and you're not going to let them down, because that's something that we need. We need that. And a lot of mental health experts don't know enough about spiritual awakening to help people that are coming to them. So we got stuff going on in Spiritual Guidance Academy that I swear to you, if I could tell you, I would tell you. But you know I can't, because y'all haters are watching too. And I'm not about to give y'all anything. No. You're just going to see it. You're just going to see it. I'm so happy. I'm so proud. And I'm so in love with what Spirit is doing for us. And so y'all just know that I love y'all to life. My gosh, okay? So yeah, don't be screwing your human over, okay? I love y'all. Happy, beautifully blessed. This new moon, right? We're feeling that new moon, the sensual Taurus energy, romantic energy. Don't you settle for nothing less than what you know you deserve, spiritual superstars. Don't you dare settle for anything less. And let me give you a tip before I go, because this is the full moon energy still. Okay, we can go back to our I feel statements. Y'all hear me saying this from way back, right? So our I feel statements is going to help you when you really have to speak your mind, and you've got to let that person know that, hey, I just don't feel respected. I just don't feel like I'm important to you. I just don't feel like this is a positive environment. I just don't feel like, I feel like this is toxic. I feel sad. I feel confused. I feel like there's something going on that I can't put my finger on it, but it makes me feel like I need to protect myself. You're going to be able to say all this, convey your message, feel the awkwardness and welcome it. And you are going to connect with whoever that is emotionally. And this is not just romantic, but this is on a platonic, because we have to be able to express ourselves, right? And this is in everyday life. So that's why, another reason why I say that, do not screw your human over, because your human's dealing with all that pent up energy, and we're asking our human to go and deal with this person over there and go to that job and deal with that boss, and then hear all the doggone drama and gossip that she or he or they don't want to hear in the first place, but we're not speaking up to that one coworker who just is messy, just loves to just stay in other people's business. No. So I'm going to teach you how, I just feel like this is so heavy. It's so heavy, and I've got a lot of work to do. Will you excuse me? And see this right here? If you need to bite your finger, do it. I don't care how hard you got to do it. Sometimes if you have to do it, do it. Because we're learning how to avoid toxic energy into our space. Sometimes you have to relearn that. It's about you. Your life is your precious life. You don't have to let toxic energy in. No. So, I hope that this has helped you. I love y'all so much. I will see you very soon.